Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome to video 2. In this video, I'm going to go through one of the activities from Unit 10, and I'm going to do it a little bit slowly and in detail so you can see how I go about answering these questions to give you an idea of how you might also answer them. And we're going to look at, let me share my screen with you again. Let's see here. Well, we were going to look at our textbook, but I don't see it here. And let me bring that up real quick. Market leader, there it is. Let me, oh, there it is. Okay, there's market leader. So this is unit 10 we just talked about in video 1. I'm going to go back through this part on page 96, this little quiz, not really a quiz, more of a survey. Ask you 9 questions. And for this one, I'm also going to give you another assignment, a second online discussion. So you'll have 2 online discussions for this module. And in the second one, I'd like you to answer these questions in your online discussion. And I'm going to go through and show you how I would answer them for myself. And I'm going to write out my answers so you can see them, and you can use that as a basis for your own answers. So let me share my whiteboard here, and I'm going to use my text. And so number 1 was, how many mobile phones do you have? In my case, I'm going to say I have 1 mobile phone. I just have 1. I have a few old ones, but I just have 1 that I'm actually using these days. It is a Samsung. Let me give a little extra information here. It's a Samsung Note 8. So if you have the newest Samsung phone, mine is a bit older than that. And actually it's, I just noticed the other day, has a little bit of a crack in it. So I think I'm due for a new phone soon. So when you answer this one, of course, give us the number. How many do you have? And also, what kind do you have? Do you have an iPhone? Do you have a Samsung? Or what model is it? I have a Note 8, but for my next phone, I think I'm going to get an Apple. I think I'm going to get an iPhone. That will be my first iPhone. I have a Mac notebook, and I think things will just be easier if I can have everything be Apple. All right, number 2, how long do you spend online each day? So this is how much time are you on the internet each day? And because we're teaching online now, so the options are less than 2 hours, between 2 and 4, and more than 4. Because we're teaching online now, I would say probably I spend between 2 and 4 hours online each day. And what am I doing? Doing research for class, using Zoom to make videos, checking email and communicating. You know, this unit's about communication, so to communicate with Professor Jung or some of the teaching assistants, and of course students when students have questions. So I would say I'm online between 2 and 4 hours each day. Some days a little more, some days a little less, but on average between 2 and 4 hours each day. How about you? So when you answer that question, how much time do you spend online each day? And you can add, what do, right? So I do research. What else? I send and respond to emails. What else? Film videos, etc. All right, number 3, how many emails or text messages do you send each day, and how many do you receive? So I would say I send, I would say fewer than 10 each day. I receive between 10 and 25. Again, some days a little more, some days a little less, but on average, that's about how many. I'm going to add emails in here. Fewer than, whoops, that's not what I want. I send fewer than 10 emails each day. I receive between 10 and 25 emails each day. All right, number 4, when was the last time you sent an email? So I sent an email 1 hour ago to Professor Zhang. And a text message, not a well, let's do it. I'm going to change it to a Kakao message. I sent a Kakao message to my students a few minutes ago. C is about fax. I think I have never sent a fax. And D is about wrote a letter. Jeez. When was the last time you wrote a letter on paper? I wrote a letter to my grandma on paper, right? About 15 years ago. That was the last time that I did that. Okay. I'm going to start a new. Okay, number 5. How often do you check your work emails when you are on holiday? So on vacation. When you are on vacation, how often do you check your work email? For me, I don't have separate work and personal email. I just have one email account. And so everything goes there. And even when I'm on vacation, yeah, I check it. I would say I check, my email every day, at least once every day. I'm not crazy about my email, but I check it fairly regularly. Okay. Number 6, how often do you Skype? How often do you use Skype or conference call? I use Skype. I use Skype almost every weekend. I talk to my family back in the US. That's how I usually talk to my family. So every weekend I do that. Number 7, how many people do you speak to face-to-face each working day when you are working? All right, so when I'm working, now things are a little different because we're online, but during a regular semester when I'm on campus, I'm teaching in a classroom, right? So I speak to more than 10 people face-to-face. These days, however, because of Corona, I speak to about 3 people face to face, my wife and children. Number 8, how important are gestures like moving your hands and facial expressions when communicating? And our options are not important, quite important, or very important. I think gestures are very important. That's why if you can't see the person, it's hard to know exactly how they're feeling. Um, so in my case, I think gestures are very important. It's, a lot of students have trouble speaking on the phone, on the telephone in English. And a big part of that is that you can't see the other person's body language. You don't have that extra layer of signals to tell you what's going on and what the person is thinking. And that's part of what makes that difficult. So yes, I think gestures are very important. And number 9, when you communicate, do you prefer to? Okay, so we have A, meet people face to face. B, speak on the phone. C, send emails. D, send like chat messages or Kakao messages like that. All right. Well, to be honest, I'm a bit shy and I don't like to spend a lot of time talking with people. So I would definitely not say face to face. Once in a while, it's nice, but that is not my preferred method. So, and sending text messages, I don't like that because it's very hard for me to type on the phone. I really don't like, I've recently started using what do they call it here? Voice messages, voice messages. That's much easier for me because I don't have to actually talk to the person, but I can just send a message using my voice and then I don't have to type. My fingers are too fat, so it's hard for me to type on the phone. So then that leaves us speak on the phone or send email. Well, I do like sending emails because I can type on my computer. That's how I usually do that. I would actually probably go with B, speaking on the phone for most people. If it's someone I really don't want to have a long conversation with, then I might prefer an email. But if it's like a friend or someone I like, then I don't mind talking on the phone because it's usually faster for me to get my point across if I can just quickly tell them on the phone rather than typing everything out and trying to explain everything. It's not always perfect because sometimes people miss things when you're talking, and when you write it, you have a record of it and you can always go back and check it. So I would say number 1 for me would probably be phone, and number 2 would be email. Messages like Kakao or text would be third, and then last would be face to face. So in my case, I'm going to say I prefer speaking on the phone. I prefer speaking on the phone. Okay. So now you have an example here of how you should write your online discussion for video 2. This is the minimum that I should see, right? Feel free to add more information for each one, explaining, why you do that or how often you do something. Or so, for example, number 8 here, I said, I think gestures are very important. You could add more to that, right? It's hard to know what someone is thinking if you can't see them, for example, right? Yep. So you're going to answer those 9 questions and give plenty of extra information for video 2. All right. I think that just about covers everything I wanted to say for this video. Again, you will find that on Canvas. Let me get out of there and go to here, and I'll set this up now. You can watch how I do it. So we are in, let's go to modules. So here's week 10. There's discussion 1 is already there. Discussion, and I'm going to edit that. Discussion video 1. So that's the case study. And then we'll set up another one here. Discussion video 2, which would be the one we just went over. And so this is going to be the case study. And this will be the page 96 survey. And then the quiz is not here yet, but it will be here. So when you actually look at this week 10 module, you'll see 3 things: discussion for video 1, discussion for video 2, and then a quiz. And all of this needs to be done by Friday, and the date on Friday will be the 22nd. Friday the 22nd. Okay. And as always, let me stop my share here. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, and I'll leave it there. Actually, let me add one more thing. For your comment for this video on YouTube, you need to leave a comment, right, for your attendance. And for this video comment, please answer the following question. Who was the last person you sent a cacao message to? Who was the last person you sent a cacao message to? And what was the reason? Why did you send that person a message? So for example, I sent a message to my best friend. For example, I had a question about homework in class, or I wanted to know what he was doing or what she was doing. Okay. Make sure you leave that comment under this video, and I look forward to reading those. As always, any questions, send me a message on Kakao and I will get back to you right away. Look forward to seeing your work soon, and I'll be in touch. Okay. Until then, take care.